Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Trish is having some technical difficulties, but she's in chat. Okay, so she's going to try and jump on a little bit later. So I'm sorry about this. How is everyone tonight? And how was your Thanksgiving? You want to eat chocolate, Barb? We all want to eat chocolate. There's not enough chocolate in the world. Yes, Trish, you're being blocked again. I know. Does everyone have their coffee ready? Yeah, Cassandra, I got your pictures about your turkey. That was scary. Even the wing was black. I mean, what the heck did they try to sell you? I mean, seriously. I'm glad to see that everyone's Thanksgiving was good. Ours was wonderful too. Thank you. Well, I love you, Cassandra. Thank you. Yeah, Marie, listen, everyone needs to stockpile on chocolate and coffee. That's the one thing that I always try to say is prep for normalcy, because I think that's going to be extremely important, especially with what is coming in the very near future. So, oh, there you are. Here she is. Hang on. There you are. Hi. Okay. Especially with what's coming in the very near future. That's why I titled this live stream what I titled it. For so long, Harris has been saying, pushing Christmas on us, right? But with everything going on, especially with our finances in the stock market, with the shortages and everything else, I feel that this is going to be like a dark Christmas. Okay. And because I feel that more people should be, what's the word? Focusing really on preparing for what is lying ahead in 2022. I don't feel that it's going to get any better anytime soon. And no, I'm not saying that to be a fear monger. It's just what's in my gut. Remember, what was it in 2020? We said that 2020 was the like movie trailer, if you will, of what 2021 was going to bring us. Well, what do we say that 2021 is? Is 2021 the whatever of 2022? Here, let's try this again. Are you there?
I am.
Okay.
You're going to answer this phone this time instead of that one. Sorry, guys. What a pain in the butt.
Yeah, GN got that Omicron, whatever the heck it's called, and now, the what do you want to call him, president or whatever of Africa is saying that travel restrictions are in place. Nobody's leaving Africa. Okay. Safety precautions are in place now. All right. What is next? What's coming next? Who's next? What are we looking at here in this country? I don't think anybody knows. What's that, Autumn? Do you think the Tang and Kool-Aid? Yes, I do think it's BS. Absolutely, 100%. And someone had commented saying, well, I guess I got to throw out all of my powdery drinks because they're all on the recall list. No, please don't. Because we don't know if this is a false flag or not. Because we don't know, there's so many recalls that they put out, and it's recalls on food that the prepper community preps like a son of a gun. So, and Trish had just brought to my attention that there's another recall.
Yeah.
What was it again?
Frozen vegetables.
Frozen vegetables, listeria.
Yeah.
So take it for what you will.
Right.
Take it for what you will. You can't hear me now? Oh, Lord.
Huh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What is it? What is it?
Yeah. I know what it is.
Hi.
Ah.
I am dog sitting this weekend. So if you see another face, I am watching. You all know him as a subscriber by the name of Dirty White Boy. Well, I have his dog for the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's the maker of frozen vegetables? Well, let's see. Would it be Bird's Eye? I don't know. There's so many. So,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just
you're gonna have to look that one up. I did get it, but it's on my other phone that we're now on because
right on.
I had to
Right
go on
on.
there. Oh boy. Where was I?
Yes, this is the dog hotel, and I don't know why. Karen, it was a Bird's Eye recall. That's what it was for sure. What are you doing? Exactly, Miss Mom. Too many recalls likely make it suspicious. That's why every time I see these recalls, I'm like, oh, what's really going on here? Have you ever seen this many recalls in the
Nope.
past? No, you have not. And is it because we've never looked for them?
No.
I don't think so, because I've always been very up to date on all of my stuff because I don't want to feed my family garbage food.
Right.
But when they started hitting the bread and the spices, that's when I took a step back and I said, hang on,
Yeah.
hang on. Exactly, Tammy. They have recalled just about everything we consume, especially in the prepper community, things that we stockpile. Because the one thing that every prepper stockpiles is what? Tang.
That's the one thing I don't have. I never got any.
Really?
No. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I just never did.
Yeah, Sony, except for meats, we will take our chances on these recalls. I mean, to say that there's metal and glass shards in powdered
Right.
drinks,
Right.
I think not, unless they're seriously sitting there and breaking windows over the machines.
Right.
Come on. Yeah. Tang is like an orange, it's a powdered orange drink that you put in water, like Kool-Aid, iced tea. You could do like a Gatorade also too, it's like that.
Just so that you know, I've been struggling with the internet, as you know, but I can't get onto the chat at all right now. So if anybody asks me anything, you'll have to repeat the question.
Yeah,
I
I will.
can't see it.
Yeah, Tiara, you know what? I stockpile Propel as well because that's my favorite. I swear, Cassandra, that's what the recall said for the powdered drinks, is that there's glass shards in the
Yep.
powdered drinks. And I said, shut the front door. This cannot be. Unless they are breaking windows over the machinery.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That,
read that recall. I read that recall too, and that's exactly what it said.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, if you were to go into my pantry and look at all of the powdered drink mixes that I have like a whole Walmart aisle in there. And that's because we don't drink soda, or, I mean, I buy it for the holidays for when we have guests here. But other than that, we drink that's why bottled water with the powdered drinks that,
Yep.
it's cheaper.
It is.
Yeah, Jackie, I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to scare people away from prepping, because these are the number one things that we as people of the prepared mind buy.
Well, not for nothing,
Spices,
but
drink mixes, and things of the like.
it's not just that though. I think if
No,
you've already stockpiled it, it's one way to get you to toss that and then spend more, right?
right,
So that delays you from prepping other things that you maybe are striving for.
right,
And not only that, but then it's going to make you question prepping any more.
right.
If they constantly hit you with recalls. I mean, lately, just in the last 2 weeks, we've had not just the Tang and other drink mix recall, but we've also, I mean, they've recalled everything except for toilet paper. Now, if they recalled toilet paper and said that there are glass shards,
Well, then you know what? My ass is going to itch for a little while.
well, I mean, that's the only thing they haven't done. They've gone everything from hot dog buns all the way to spices and drink mixes, and in the last week, onions and more meat, ground meat, just anything and everything they have hit.
Yeah.
Everything.
And,
Even to a certain extent, there were certain brands of coffee that they hit.
mm-hmm. And Cassandra
And
wants to know how you're so cool for all of this. Do you drink tea or do yoga? Because you're the coolest cat she's ever seen.
I drink a lot of coffee, a tremendous amount of coffee, but no, I'm very even keeled. I learned how to be even keeled working at the banks. We're basically, I don't want to say non-emotional, but we don't show our highs and lows in emotions.
No, yeah.
It's just the
We
way
just
we're raised.
take it as it comes. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Just take it as it comes. And you know what? We have to weed out what we think is BS and what isn't. And
Yeah,
I think that
absolutely.
more than half of these recalls, and Trish
Yes.
feels the same way, is BS.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Right. But not only that, you can see it if you know what their end game is. Their end game is to either starve you out or get you out of the game. And one way or another, that starves you out. Right? So keep prepping, don't stop, regardless of the recalls. I'm not saying don't look at them. I'm not saying that there isn't something occasionally to look at and say, okay, well, maybe. But with what is going on, there is no way in the world that you have listeria and salmonella in every product out there.
Yeah.
Because it's been every one. From dog food to hot dog buns.
I know.
Just staggering.
I know.
So you can freak out about it, or you can just say, you know what? I see what you're doing, and I'm not falling for it.
Mm-mm.
I'm not falling for it.
Mm-mm.
If there is anything you ever get I call it a check in your spirit about, you know what I mean? Just that one little thing that you say, I'm not so sure about this product that I bought, and I'm not comfortable with it for whatever reason, whether it be taste, smell, packaging, whatever. Get rid of it. Don't risk it. It's not worth it. But save your receipts. That's why they always say, save your receipts. Bring it back to the store. Don't pay for it again. Make them replace it. On a recall, they have to.
Right. But it said in the recall that the expiration dates were 2023. for these powdered drinks. Okay, so if I go in my pantry and I look at all of my powdered drinks, the expiration date on the Country Time lemonade, which is one of the ones that is in this recall, guess what? The expiration date is 2023. So you mean to tell me that all of the canisters of the Country Time lemonade I have to bring back? Come on.
Well, if you were to believe it and if you were to do it, that would be the way to not have to pay for them a second time. Yes.
Right. But I mean, I've been drinking it before this recall. I'm fine.
Right. Right. I get it. I do get it. But, if anybody did get hurt by anything that's in them, let's say it's shards of glass, okay? Because tiny, tiny little shards of glass will do damage over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to drink it and there was an issue in it, that's their way of saying, well, we did a recall. That means we're not liable for a lawsuit. We told you to bring it back. Right? So it's their way of getting out of anything as well. Personally, though, I don't think it's any of that. I think it's just the agenda that they have. And they're doing everything they can to make sure that those of us that are of the prepared mind stop. Or they get tired of it and they don't do it anymore, or they slow down, or maybe people don't, new people don't prep as much. Because any way they can make it exhausting for you, they will.
Right.
Just like any way they can try to stop me doing a broadcast, they will. I guarantee you, if we didn't schedule this and we just did a surprise at, say, 7:30, it would pop on beautifully. But that's the way it goes. So the vegetable recall, same thing. Now, if you were to take those products, though, let's say the meat recall or the onions, and you're to can them, you're not going to know, right? So now you've got prepared canned food that you did and took a lot of time and energy to do, and you're not going to have the serial numbers or the package numbers or any of that, right? Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's also one way to see who is stockpiling goods. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one way to do it. Sure.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
So if you were to take all of those things of Tang or whatever you have back, you bring back 10, 20, 30, whatever it is you've got. Yeah. That's a really good way to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's one way to confiscate the stockpile, and I'm just not falling for it. I'm sorry. I'm not falling for it at all.
Right. Don't blame you. Neither am I.
Did you say in the last broadcast that the wall camo? What? Looking into UV lighting. I don't know. Wouldn't they already know what you bought if you used cards? I don't know if they would get an itemized list.
So it is 7:20, and as I said, I'm back on. Lasts about 15 to 20 minutes.
Pains in the asses.
Yep.
Yeah, but Karen, how are you going to do that? She said maybe as preppers, we should, where'd it go? We should be keeping track of serial numbers and dates, even on meats that we can. How are you going to do that? Keep all the stickers?
Yeah, you can't do that.
That would be a little hard to keep track of everything.
Can't do it.
Unless you put the stickers on the jars.
Come on, really? I mean, if you're gonna be canning meat and you're doing it, even a pound or 2 or 3 at a time, you can't do that. No way.
I don't know.
No. No.
Oh, heavens to Betsy, if they recalled coffee and chocolate. Could they send someone to haul it to the store asking for a friend? Rose, I don't know, but they would literally need more than a U-Haul, I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah. Especially on the coffee, eh? Yeah.
Trish, please confirm or deny if banks are preparing to start doing bail-ins. Thank you. Marna.
The bail-in. That's your money. They're not going to do the usual bail-in that they've done before. No. It will be our money. And we've discussed that already. It'll definitely be our money that they turn to stock, bank stock. And then as they decline in bank stock, you lose money. That's why I always say, do not have more than 1 month's worth of money in the bank. Other than that, have some of these. Just a little bit. You don't have to get a ton, just get a little bit at a time. Silver. Any form, any denomination, just get silver. Rockout Blackout, is it better to go with a small local bank or stay with the big ones? Honestly, in my opinion, they all suck. All of them. Because they're all run by one group. So, is it better with the small local banks or the big ones? No. The small ones are great for a lot of things, but they lack big funding. So, if something happens, they collapse. The big ones, they may seem more secure, but honestly, they have higher overhead. And they're not good either. So I would say they all suck. I'm sorry. They do. I don't have any confidence in the banks at all.
They want to harvest energy from each person using graphene oxide on fire.
Well,
Yeah.
That's it's a great topic. It would be really, really good for the newsletter.
Yeah.
Really dangerous here. So I'd say stay away from that at the moment.
Yeah, I'm going to. Trish, what about credit unions? Janie wants to know.
Well, as we've said before on this channel, credit unions are no different than banks. People want to say they are. They were in the beginning, but they are not anymore. They are virtually the same thing with regard to a credit collapse, a credit freeze, a bail-in, anything like that. They're the same. So I'm not against credit unions, but if you think you're protected in them versus a large place like Bank of America or any of the large banks, you're wrong. The same thing can happen to them and will overnight
Later.
if there is a collapse or the banking system is told by the Federal Reserve to shut their doors. And that's the one controlling it all. The Federal Reserve, a private company, controls it all. And they just renominated Powell again, and Biden gave the nod for yes, you can continue. Why? Because he's doing the same evil plan that they want, so they want him to continue it. And the whole purpose of it is to collapse the dollar. So I was talking to somebody earlier today, and no matter how many times someone will say, well, I've been looking at the Dixie and it's still at 96, 97 cents, it hasn't gone down yet. Really? That's because it's called managing the markets. That's what the Federal Reserve does. They keep that price high enough to make you think that it's proper enough. But if you look at the grocery stores and all the places that you go for food now, even the dollar store is a good example. It's now $1.25. Well, that means you lost 25% of your purchasing power immediately. So you just lost 25 cents on every dollar. And that can be applied across the board, whether it's on buying a used car that now the prices are sky high, or whether you're buying soil for your gardens because the prices on that went up, or you're buying lumber and the prices on that went up a while ago, and they're starting to come down a little bit now. Each and everything that they're robbing you of on your purchasing power affects the dollar.
Yeah.
Overnight, they can turn around and hyperinflate anything they want. Do I see it happening overnight? No. But it will be a gradual, slow burn of your money by driving up the prices of everything that you buy. That's the way it works.
Amarna had another question. Where are you, Amarna?
In the meantime, while you find that, in the meantime, Dale is asking, the stock market took a dive today. Is that the beginning of a crash? No, it's not. That is called a profit-taking event. People made money. It's right before a weekend. They don't want to keep their money in there any longer than they need to. They take a bunch out. They wait for it to come back down. They buy in again, and it goes back up.
Right. Okay, so Cassandra said, what does Trish think I should do with my inheritance? I'm getting $25K this month. I respect her input. Is this something we want to do in a private email, Trish?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay. So Cassandra, email Trish. Her email is in the description box. Okay.
Yeah. But to on the side answer that question so people understand, that totally would depend on the person's current setup. If you have food, if you have water, if you've got, a generator, that kind of stuff, we'd be telling you to do that first. Once you have that stuff covered, then we can talk about a consultation on what to do.
Right.
Make sure you have that kind of stuff first.
Right. And then here's Amarna. She said, were you surprised that Jerome Powell was confirmed again? Who do you think would have been a better pick?
No, I am not surprised that Jerome Powell was confirmed again. Who do I think would be a better pick? Humpty Dumpty. Okay.
Stop.
Humpty Dumpty.
No.
Would have been a much better pick. I mean, he's cracked too.
Sir.
Right?
No, sir.
Federal Reserve is. And just like Jerome Powell. But yes, Humpty Dumpty. They're all cracked. It wouldn't matter if it was a big egg or if it was Jerome Powell. I know that's harsh. I don't care.
Right. So Jack Jones said, so do we all just quit work when that happens? There won't be any place to cash our checks.
Not true. What will happen is people will start yelling, complaining, screaming, right? There'll be a public outcry, which is what they want. They want you to ask for a solution. Because when you guys ask for a solution, then they'll jump in and say, oh, don't worry about it. We got it. We got it covered. Here's a Fed account. Everybody can have a Fed account. All your money will go to the Fed account. You're all set.
Right. Just like what that one woman is trying to do right now.
I've said from the beginning, they will give you a Federal Reserve account. And then what are you going to get with the banks? You may still be able to go to your local bank, but it's going to be considered a federal account, which means they can monitor every single transaction without limitation, without notification, without anything, because it's their account. right? So your money will still be there. Oh, but after a while, don't think for one bloody minute you won't have to get that, because you will at some point, in order to keep that Fed account, have to comply with every single thing they ask you to do,
Right.
including your thumbprint.
Penelope, that was not nice. K Dogs said, so what is the worth of our US dollar right now?
Well, that depends. If you look at what the Federal Reserve is saying, between 92 and 97 cents. I haven't looked today, but somewhere in that range. But the truth is, the harsh truth, the real reality, less than 25 cents. You don't want to hear it. No one wants to say it, but that's the truth.
Right.
And you can know that just by, from the time that they originally started backing gold, way back when, to the cost increases now. What was a loaf of bread then? What is a loaf of bread now in price?
Right.
That's how you know.
Right. Now, Blue Rose Rambling said, Trish, what will happen to 401ks if the stock market crashes?
Well, as I've also said all along, it's no different than your bank account. It will deplete. It has to. They make up for it somewhere along the way, and you will lose your 401k. It will deplete.
Right.
I've said that all along. From one of the very first videos that I did with Autumn here was all about the 401ks and what's going to happen.
That's
Go
right.
back and look at some of her previous videos. I'm the banker that she was talking about that sent her the info. That's
Right.
me.
Right.
So take a look at them. I don't want to keep repeating the same info. We did that well over a year ago.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's still right today. It's amazing how their plan is still the same.
I know. It's
It's
amazing, isn't
really
it?
just to rob you of your wealth, whether it be in 401k form, whether it be Social Security. I mean, hey, listen, I just heard the other day, okay, they get another increase in Social Security, either already or it's coming up. But the problem is what is it, Medicaid A or B, Medicaid or Medicare A or B?
I see.
Excuse me, there's an increase in the insurance plan. So your increase in payment is going to go to cover the increase for the insurance. They didn't increase it for you guys. They increased it to pay the insurance companies.
Right.
That's all it was for. You know,
God
and that's
bless you.
what people aren't looking at. They'll turn around and say, yeah, okay, we'll give you an increase. Let's say the rest of us, right, to $15 an hour. But when they raise the prices on the food, you're not really getting an increase at all. They can't seem to do one without the other.
Right. Now, Rockout said, now would it be better, or sorry, not better, would it even be possible to abolish the Federal Reserve? Because he heard it's too complicated to even run banking without it, but the country was so much better off before it.
Yeah, absolutely true that it was better off before it. But could they get rid of it now? No.
Right.
No, there's no way. Unfortunately, they have used all of our money over time, the last how many years, to buy up asset after asset and make their balance sheet not just go up, but straight up. They added more in the last 2 years than they've ever had. We've spent more US dollars in the last 2 years than we ever have. We've taken on more debt in the last 5 years than we've ever done before. It's staggering. It's staggering what they've done. And criminal, in my view.
Yes,
what can we do
Terry,
about it?
I is safe. Sorry.
That's all right. What can we do about it? Really, what can we do about it?
As a
Not
people,
us. We're not part of that club, right?
no.
There's
That's why I
nothing we can
said
do.
as a people, nothing.
Right. Yeah. So there's no way to get rid of the Federal Reserve. As much as I despise Powell and his cronies, there's no way to get rid of them. And they know it.
Right.
They'll play that card all the time.
Now, Awakening Warrior asks, do you think PayPal is going to crash along with the banks since they're a big tech company? What do you think will happen with the PP funds? Will it crash at the same time?
No, but PayPal is known for not allowing you to have your money. So if you have money in PayPal, that doesn't mean they can't lock the account for a period of time until things get settled. And who else is owned by PayPal? What's the name of the other one?
Oh, yeah.
Also part of PayPal. Separate, but the same. It's not Zelle. There's another one, though. And I can't remember their name right now. But I don't trust PayPal from a hole in the wall. So again, just like anything else, you need to keep the account open and you've got to keep a few bucks in there, perhaps, although I don't know that you have to for PayPal.
No, you don't.
Just leave $5. You know what I mean? If you got to do something like that, even if it's a spare savings account that you want to keep, just leave $5.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to leave any more than that.
Right. Amarna said, do you think the USA will be manufacturers and major exporters again?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Do you think the USA will be manufacturers and major exporters again?
Well, how about we start with being exporters again? No. I'd love to say that we could turn that around. I don't see enough businesses opening up that are large enough to take that one on. And they're not going to let any small business survive. They're certainly trying to kill off every one of them.
Right.
No, I'm sorry, but that ship has sailed.
Unfortunately, that's why, for small businesses, that's why I encourage everyone who is a subscriber of mine. If you are a small business owner, I will promote your business for you. Email me if you have a website, whatever the case may be, even if it's just a business email. I will, and I don't expect anything in return. In the description box, if you look, you'll see a whole bunch of websites, and they're all for small businesses. Okay. People that are in our community. Let's, support them instead of supporting Walmart and Target and, all the big names. So, email me and give me all your information, and I'll put your stuff in the description box below so people can purchase their Christmas stuff from you guys instead of, from Walmart and stuff like that. Okay. Because I want to keep the small businesses alive. I'd rather.
Yeah, we need them more now than ever.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, somebody else was mentioning the one I was mentioning with regard to PayPal. It was Venmo, and yeah, that's I don't use it myself, but that's the one I was talking about. So it's neither better or worse. But if you have any of those accounts, like I said, make sure you don't leave much in those accounts. Drain it down. Unless you really need to keep it in there to use it for some purpose, I wouldn't.
Insurance is legislative tax. Yes. Cassandra wants to know.
100%. Yes.
Okay.
Erin, the next LD, will purge the remainder of small businesses. Yes. Yeah. And None of us really want to talk about that, nor do we want to think about it, but guaranteed it's going to happen. Exactly when? I don't know, but I hear pretty darn soon. So just keep stacking. Do what you got to do and don't stop.
Right. Alexandra asked, oil price crude dropped today. What does that mean?
Just about everything dropped today.
Yeah. Well,
All of you
did you see about, what Potato did with sending how many millions of barrels of our crude over to Asia? I mean, this is not by accident here that this is happening to us. Look at the gas prices in California, for crying out loud. They're almost at $7 a gallon. We're in trouble here.
Yeah, but he'd rather they have it than we have it, right?
Right.
So what does that tell you? Which bed is he really in? Come on.
Right.
I think we all know what his plan is. His plan is for us to hurt, so we cry out and say, oh, well, maybe you can fix us. No. The day he becomes the savior here, you got a big problem. You got a huge problem right now.
Yeah.
But the moment he seems to think that he's won, we're totally done at that point.
Right.
I think we're close to done anyway, I'll be honest with you.
Right.
But I'm trying to stay on the positive side of it, because what they have done with not only shipping all the jobs over, which happened way back in Bill Clinton's era, but all the way up until now, they have not one of them have really helped us. Sorry. Trump tried, I get it, but reality is we've been going downhill for 35 to 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been a slow burn.
Right. Do you remember last week when we were talking about history repeating itself? And I think it was Cyan. Is he in here, by the way? Cyan had said every 80 years history repeats itself. And I said, wow, to think about that every 80 years, to put a timeline like that every 80 years. And when Sean came home that night from work, I said to him, Sean, what happened 80 years ago? He goes, what are you talking about? And I said, well, the phrase history repeats itself. And he said, yeah. And I said, well, a subscriber of mine happened to make a comment saying every 80 years history repeats itself. And he goes, oh, okay. So he looked it up and he said, oh, God. And I said, what? And he goes, 80 years ago, it's when World War II happened.
Yeah. Right.
And I was like, oh. And all of this talk about the third one happening. And I said, oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Is it just a coincidence or no? I mean, could this be part of this dark winter that everyone's talking about? Like CKOC just said, dark winter equals simulation of a smallpox outbreak. What do you think? Potato Head's dark winter means today. Could it possibly be because of everything that's going on financially in this country? Could it be because of a new variant? Could it be because of what's this smallpox? Okay. Could it possibly be that we're going to have another world war? Could it, or is it just a whole mixture of things? And the fact that Southern California is in the dark and has been since Wednesday. And they still are, from what I understand. I don't know.
What does potato mean by dark winter? I guess you can ask yourself that question and also ask why Miss Harris decides to tell everybody to buy little Johnny's Christmas present ahead of time, well ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're giving you little warnings?
That's what I think too.
Mm. Or do you think they're trying to make you panic buy? What do you think?
I don't know. I think if you really want my honest opinion, I think they, and I'm probably going to get oh, hell no, this is not going to happen again, not again, not again. I think that they gave us a fair warning of, get out and buy everything that you need now, because I think with this new variant that supposedly just now popped up, and Africa is now locking down. Look what's going on in Australia. Look what's going on in Austria. We're next, and we're gonna get shut in.
I think I called you about that a little while back.
Yeah.
And I won't say that we're next, but I think we're damn close.
Yeah.
I think it'll be by a time frame.
I hate time frames because I don't want to. I don't want to hear anybody say
locked into a time frame, but I was given one, so I'll just say, guys, keep going, don't stop. Remember, I said to you before, I just have this thing in me where I just haven't been able to stop. I have the question of when do we stop, but I haven't been able to. There's a reason why. Keep going.
Yeah.
Because if the estimate of what I've been given is correct, it won't be long. So just keep doing it. If you got to turn into that little robot to just keep going and just keep at it, steady, without thinking about it, just keep going, keep doing, then fine, do that. Whatever you got to do. I would rather you do that than turn around and say, I wish I had done more.
Right.
And I could have.
Well, that's why I bought the second freezer.
Yeah.
Because you just bit my nose. He just comes over and just bites my nose, a little shit.
Nice. Nice.
That's why I bought the second freezer, and I made sure it was stocked up. And that's why I prepped my butt off for the past 2 weeks, because I wanted to make damn sure that in case anything came down the pike, that I wasn't going to have to sit here and worry about anything.
Right.
Because I just think it's very odd. Stormy, would you stop? I just think it's very odd that she is pushing Christmas, but go buy Christmas presents, go buy Christmas presents. Why are you trying to push Christmas presents when you should be pushing your people, your citizens, the American people, to buy food? What's wrong with you? And then we hear about what's going on in Australia, what's going on in Austria. Now we're dealing with the aftermath of the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. Stormy, stop it. With the looting, the rioting, and everything else going on over there. Stormy, would you get your religion out of my face? And then, God, I just lost my train of thought. But, and now we're hearing about Africa. It's like, all right, when is it our turn? Because I just have this god awful feeling. I hope I'm wrong. I really want to be wrong. I don't want to be right. I don't think
any of us want to be right on any of the stuff that we're really, that we have a gut wrenching feeling about. But the reality is, and I'm sure you've all heard it before, trust your gut, trust your instinct. We're not saying on this channel to believe any one of us. We're saying trust your gut. Look at what's going on around you. See what is different now versus maybe it was a month ago. See the conditions of your stores. Are they being restocked or not?
Right.
Look at the prices. Are they going up on you? Is your paycheck going up to match it?
No.
Just be aware of what is going on. And if you think that everything that we're saying is a bunch of hogwash and it doesn't apply to you and your situation or where you are, fine.
Yeah.
Let us know.
All I'm doing is putting two and two together in my head and coming up with my own conclusion, just like everybody else does. I'm just trying to look at the big picture and saying, well, if it's happening here and it's happening here and it's happening here and it's happening here, when is it going to be our turn? And
Right.
is it ever going to be our turn? That's what I'm saying right now.
Right.
I'm not saying, hey, guess what? This is what is going to happen. No. Is it going to be our turn? And when is it going to be our turn? Because,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
getting to be a little too much.
Yeah. Like I said, I think they've warned us. I think they've already said what they're going to say. And then I think when it does happen, they'll say, well, it's been in the news for months, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We warned you. We tried to tell you. Um, so I, you know, somebody said on here a little while ago, made a really good comment that, every bit of added food is an added day of food. Yeah, like an additional can is an added amount of food.
Mhm.
Do what you can when you can. Um, but make your concentration be something that's going to make you outlast them.
Will you stop?
Yeah, boy, that one's gets your attention tonight, huh?
Well, you know what it is. Andrew's not home, so he's up in my face. Will you stop? Yes, I love you. Stop it. Look, now you're stuck on me. Okay, stop.
Mhm.
See, Tony, and that's you're all right. Do you see what Tony just said? She said, yep, shut ins coming. They wanted us all out spending for Black Friday. They got their money, then they shut us in.
I didn't see the comment. For some reason, it's not popping up here. But,
Here, there.
um, but people were going to do the Black Friday shopping no matter what. That's a fact. They do it every year. Um, you know, I don't know. I think that's part of why a lot of us have been saying, um, if you're gonna do anything Christmas wise, think about preps. And I'm not talking about food, but think about preps that you can get maybe for your older kids, whatever. I don't care if they're sleeping bags. I don't care if they're tents. I don't care if they're solar flashlights, whatever they are. Think about doing stuff like that. Why? Because they're more practical this year than they've ever been. Um,
Oh, Stephanie. I didn't
um,
realize that.
what?
She said in 80 years before World War II was the Civil War.
Yeah, right. And this administration is itching. They're itching. for a war. Right? Because if there is one, then that takes a great load off of them in a sense, right? It's going to be a distraction. People are going to be looking at other things. You won't be saying, oh, well, what about this, this, and this? Any way they can distract, they will. But they're itching for a war. War is the largest profit-making opportunity
Right.
for any administration. They make a ton of money on it.
Right. What I meant by Southern California was in the dark. They had gotten, and I did a video on it earlier. Subscribers who live in Southern California had emailed me telling me that they were given warnings that their electricity was going to be turned off. They were doing rolling blackouts, and apparently they do this every year, and it was supposed to be turned back on today. They started Wednesday, and their electricity was supposed to be turned back on today, but it wasn't turned back on yet. I don't know what part of Southern California, but I know that it was in Southern California. So
Aaron's saying, and we're pushing Russia right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
they are. Russia much more than China. He's caving to everything China wants. But yes, Biden's been pushing and will continue to push Russia. And will they someday repay us for that? Guaranteed.
Right.
When? No idea. No idea. But they're angering the wrong bear. I can guarantee you that.
Will you quit, please?
It's good to see so many people on here that bought preps for their kids or grandkids.
That's
cool.
what we're doing for Christmas. Really cool. Everybody's getting prepping items. I mean, we're not, buying, everybody's getting like an HBA bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're getting an HBA bag, except for the kids, they're not going to get an HBA bag, because they don't know what the hell that is. But, everybody's getting an HBA bag. And Stormy, you need to stop. But Dominic, we're going to get him like a tent, a flashlight, sleeping bag, that type of thing. But everybody's getting an HBA bag, and then whatever else I can think of.
TN Prepper wants to know what an HBA bag is.
Okay. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, body soap, bar soap, toothpaste, toothbrush. I'm going to help them along with their preps when it comes to hygiene.
Yeah. Health and beauty aids.
Because when people prep, they think only in food. Not a lot of people think along the hygiene way. So I'm helping people with their hygiene preps this year for Christmas. Stormy, will you please? You're a pain in the butt. Rumor, Home and Garden Diaries. Really? Where did you hear that? Rumor of lockdown from December 6th until April next year. Where is that?
I was just asked a question if I saw a previous comment, so I'm going to address it. Here's the comment. Small POX virus is now on all currency. Stop using cash. That's the comment. That's crap. So, yeah, not true. Just want to put any possible fears to rest with that. No. Now, having said that, all money is dirty, right?
Yeah.
But to blanket a statement like that and say that all small POX is on all cash and to stop using currency is just said to create fear. And if we can delete that troll, Tara, thank you. That is not true. But yes, cash is infested. We know that, yeah. But to say that is on all of it is completely incorrect. So, okay. You're saying it's the next pandemic. That's very possible, but you can't say it's on all cash and stop using cash. Anything could be the next one. We don't know if it's going to be that or Ebola, which is what I think it would probably be. You know, we all have our opinions on that one. You know, it's hard to say which one it's going to be. You show me hardcore evidence as to how that's going to be the next one and why, then I'll look at it. There's a lot of talk about small POX. That doesn't necessarily mean it is the next one. Yeah, both are scary, but I'll tell you what, Ebola is much, much worse because it's very ugly. Just a side note, I wanted to mention that all of the November newsletters have been sent out. So anybody that has been expecting it, please check your email. And if you do not have it currently in your email as of tonight, then send me an email and let me know. Okay? Especially people that pay by the month. If you have not been included for whatever reason, I want to make sure my list is updated. So send me an email, taassociates1020@yahoo.com. And Tara, like we discussed earlier, if you can keep track of whoever makes a comment about not receiving it for November, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody else, just send me an email. That's fine. Terry saying she has a strong feeling of exploring off-grid life. Yeah. There's more of a draw to that these days than ever before. I'd love to, but I don't know that I'm going to this year for sure. You know, if nothing else, you know, maybe start looking at a few solar items.
Yeah.
You know,
even if it's just so the solar lights that you can get at, like, you know, Dollar Tree, or if you wanted to get the nicer ones, you know, at like Lowe's or Home Depot.
Tara D, that comment wasn't made for you. Thank you.
Huh?
Anyway, yeah, I'm looking at a very simple thing that is on a lot of videos these days. Just in the backyard doing a small rocket stove. Just something really simple. Don't know if we'll ever use it, but just have the materials to put it together. Put it together once, use it once, and then just set it aside and, or keep it put up. But in our case, because we have a large dog outside, we would have to definitely put it aside for now until we're going to use it. But just to have the items that you may potentially need. In the case of a rocket stove, it's just some bricks or some cinder blocks, whatever you choose to use.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to cost much money. And just get it, put it aside in case.
Oh, did anyone hear that Dollar Tree is now $1.25 tree?
Right.
But
We talked about that, right?
Yeah. Oh, wow. A long time ago we talked about.
Right. And, not for nothing, guys, but I mentioned that story to you guys ahead of time for a reason. I'm the one that had the contract to actually get that done. So it's going to be named the Dollar Tree Plus, but really it's everything from $1 to $1.25. So you've lost 25% of your purchasing power immediately at Dollar Tree, right? So there may still be some $1 items, but much, much fewer. And it allows them to be able to introduce a larger inventory into their store that they couldn't get in at $1. That's why they did it. But what irritated me about it is that they can default or delay paying their prior creditors for the materials that they bought and wanted to sell at $1, but now they're going to sell them higher to you, even though they paid less for them, and they're not going to pay the people that they got them from. Because when they change from one name to another, previous store is no longer obligated, and now the new store isn't either. So the previous distributors and or companies that made the product get screwed, pardon the language, but that's true. And ultimately, we do. Because who do you think is the one that pays for it all? We pay for it in the form of higher prices across the board. So, welcome to the Dollar Tree at $1.25 or more.
Cassandra has a question. She said, can you ask Trish if she saw the results of the rhinovirus Hokie Mikey results in Ebola? But the way she wrote it, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry, but I did not see it. Who was it?
Cassandra.
Maybe a while ago.
I put it up on there on the screen for you.
Oh, all right. Sorry. Yeah. I think if we're going to be discussing any stuff like that, I'll defer that. If you want to answer that, go for it.
No. I have a serious question. I don't know if anyone has asked this before, but what if there is no more food at the store and people start going door to door? Chicken prepper, very good question. That would be like something that happened back in the Great Depression. And I discussed this during one of my Great Depression episodes, which I got to start doing again. But with the holidays, it's just been crazy around here. That It's just something as people of the prepared mind that we would have to just expect to happen. It's just up to you as an individual on if you're going to answer the door.
Right.
I know a lot of us have said, nope, sorry, not going to answer the door. Not my fault you didn't listen. Um, to a stranger, okay, maybe it would be a little hard. But what if it's your neighbor that you've been friends with for a while? What if it's one of your kids' friends' parents? What if it's a cousin of yours or your best friend? Or what if it's your pastor? These are the things that you have to take into consideration. What if it's one of us that is not as far along as you are? Would you shut the door in their face?
Or would you open it to begin with?
Right. Like, I'm not as far along as some of you. If I were to come knocking on your door, would you open the door for me?
Well, if you came all the way up here to my door, I probably would.
Right. But that's because we've helped each other in ways that,
Right. So, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, if somebody knows where you are and you've worked that out ahead of time, that's one thing.
Right.
But if you got people that just start randomly showing up at your door and knocking on the door, I mean, you don't know why they're knocking on the door, but if they're knocking on the door saying, hey, we're hungry, do you have any food, whatever. Somebody proposed that question to me over Thanksgiving and said, and mind you, this is somebody who doesn't prep, okay? Said, well, okay, if you were to open the door, that's one thing, but what if you weren't? And they just started saying, okay, you're going to open the door whether you want to or not, because they take any stick, broom, or baseball bat and start caving in your windshields on your vehicles, right? So of course somebody's going to open the door or call the cops, but at that point, damage is done, right? I mean, insurance replaces a lot of things. We know that. Do you open the door? Do you put yourself in harm's way? Because remember, they still have a weapon of some sort, right? They just caved in a window. That doesn't mean they can't cave in a building window, right?
Right.
I don't look at them as a friend at that stage, right? So if it's somebody, right? So if it's somebody that's looking to attain whatever they want at whatever cost, you guys will all know what I mean when I say you just deal with it, right? So I don't know. Would I open the door? That would strongly depend on who it is, how I feel at the moment, what I have at the time, what I'm willing to risk if I have someone else with me, if I'm alone, all of that. You have to assess your own current situation and do what you got to do. It will be hard for people to turn people away.
Right.
That's why we've been talking about, creating small bags for people.
Right.
They don't have to be big, just those paper lunch sack kind of bags or Ziploc bags, gallon-sized Ziploc bags with some rice, with some beans, with, I don't know, with different products in there that might be able to create a meal or two or a week's worth or whatever. If you can afford to maybe make up a few batches of that to have put aside, I'd encourage people to do that. Now, how you would give it to them? Well, that's a different subject. Would you open the door? Would you say, I'm going to be getting food that in a day or two? Do you even let them know you're home? I don't know. But you let them know I'm getting food tomorrow. I'll get a little extra for you and leave some for you. So that they don't think you have it now,
Right.
because you don't want that.
Right. Stormy, stop it.
It won't be easy to turn people away. It won't be easy to turn friends and family away. You can say now, well, I've warned you already. I told you. You will not find it easy to turn people away.
No.
No one will.
Right.
Because all of our preps at some point will run out.
I know.
And put yourself in that position, right? It won't be easy to do. So imagine if it's kids. Now, hey, there's something you brought up on a live or a video, I don't remember. But you were talking about those commercials that said something about starving children in the United States. And
Oh, yeah. That was like 2
commercials
weeks
that
ago.
are,
Yeah.
yeah, well, these are commercials that are in other countries. Well, get this, okay? Here, I was washing the dishes one night, and Nikki had the TV on in the other room. And I was, as she was doing something else, I was audibly hearing a commercial that came on here in our country. And it was all about helping the starving children of the United States of America. No joke. Now, okay, we all know that there are ads that run like that occasionally about helping the 1 in 6 to the 1 in 8 kids who go without a meal every week or sometimes every day. Yeah, we know that, but no, these were very much like the commercials that you were bringing up that are being done currently in other nations.
Germany, Poland, and Japan.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, what? Wait, hold on. Did I just hear that right? And I had to take a step back. And it was all about sponsoring children in the United States for hunger. And I was like, okay, I get that hunger exists. I understand it. I was raised poor. I get it. But we don't normally hear open commercials like that. And then especially being heightened in awareness to the fact that those same commercials are going on in other nations about the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked. It was not on a cable news channel because we don't have cable here. We just do antenna TV. We couldn't be bothered. So I want to say it was something like Me TV or one of those channels. But I was really, really surprised to hear it. So they're running those commercials here now.
Oh, JK said, door to door happens in Venezuela every day with children. By the way, they ask for prepared food. It's not like they have fuel. Yeah, because they don't.
Cassandra mentioning she has a family member who is more into alcohol and food. How do you deal with family members who are not prepared? You can prep alcohol if you want, right? But honestly, how do you deal with people who aren't prepped, especially family members? You've warned them over and over, I'm sure, right? At that point, I'm sorry, because this is going to sound harsh, but you treat them like anyone else. I know it won't be easy, but you've warned them. You've said it. You've done it.
Right.
You can't, unless you're willing to take them in, and now they're yours, and you deal with them. Now you've got an alcoholic living with you under your roof who will probably do anything to get more alcohol, which may mean rip you off, sell you goods while you're sleeping.
Right. I mean, if it's alcohol for bartering reasons, okay. But
yeah,
alcohol instead of food.
Yeah. Right. But even so, to give somebody who has that issue more alcohol, it's not going to help the situation at all.
No, not at all. Unless you're going to use that to clean a wound. That's,
Right.
you know.
Right. Rosalie, you sent me an email and I haven't had a chance to answer you. Answer to your question is first quarter is October through December. That's the first full quarter for the 195 group. So it comes out in January. All right. One thing I've noticed here at the store is that the flower prices have, in my opinion, actually, not just in my opinion, on the actual shelves here, have started to increase dramatically. Here at our local Walmart, they're about 75% higher than they were less than a month ago for flour. You know, same size bag, but 75% higher than what they were. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed an increase in that. I've noticed that there's less flour on the shelves too, but that's a hike.
You know, JK, that's a really, really good question. Um, will they arrive at homes in groups of 20 like they are during looting sprees? Hmm.
You know?
How it happened at Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't doubt it. But are only certain homes going to be targeted? That's the question.
You know, I don't know. Try not to be that target.
Yeah, I know.
So I went into a local Dollar Tree. I don't even want to call it a Dollar Tree. Sorry, dollar store.
Mm.
Week and a half ago, and a lot of stand-up. What do you call them? Stand-up displays when you first walk in the store. So much so that
I'll be right
if
back.
somebody, okay, so much so that if somebody were to walk into the building, or let me rephrase that, if somebody with a wheelchair wanted to get into the building, they could not get around. Way too many stand-up displays. And I asked the question of, why are there so many stand-up displays so close to the front door? And they said, we're trying to make sure that we get the product out to the people so that they can reach it. The aisles that were further in the back, not all the way in the back, but further into the store, were clean, empty. I mean, empty. But they're filling displays right up by the door. And yet there's virtually no product in the back of the store. They put it all up front. And that was kind of eye-opening. So if somebody had a wheelchair or they had some issue where they couldn't get easily around those displays. They'd be knocking everything over. And the shelves were virtually cleaned out. There was some candy. There were a few things here or there, very little. All stand-up displays and all near the door. So I wasn't sure if they were coming or going, really, at that point. They certainly weren't adding to the store in any way.
What happened? I'm sorry, what were you talking about? Because I had to go into the pantry because something, I heard
I was
something
just
crash.
I was just saying that I was in a dollar store this past week, and there were a lot of stand-up displays right at the front door with a fair amount of products in the stand-up displays, but so much so that if you were in a wheelchair or you had an issue getting around, you know, you needed a little more space getting in or around those displays, you would have knocked them all over. All their displays were right near the front door, and virtually no products on the shelves. Very few. Some candy and a few medical items, you know, Band-Aids, things like that, but nothing really on the shelves. So
Wow.
I asked why so many stand-up displays right at the front door, and they said that they were just trying to make sure that people had access to the product, you know, as soon as they came in the door. That was ridiculous. You know, I mean, I almost knocked one of them over just trying to get around them, and I was shocked. But nothing in, you know, 3/4 of the store, and it's all right at the front door.
That's weird.
Like they didn't want you to walk around the store. This is it. This is what we have right here when you first walk in, and that's it. You know?
What the heck?
Yeah. To make it look full when you first walk in, or when you drive by, perhaps, if they're going to take window shots or whatever. I was like, wow. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, there's no way you could have gotten somebody with a walker or a wheelchair in there at all. Not a chance.
Okay, guys, so I forgot to ask you, what did you prep this week? I completely forgot to ask. And I know it's the holiday, so if anyone says turkey, I'm going to be mad.
I did. So
Well,
far, I'm on 9-quart bottles of turkey. In its own juices. I cooked 3 turkeys between Tuesday, Wednesday, and today. So I'm keeping a certain amount of turkey out for this weekend to have, but I'm canning all 3.
So Sherry did shoes, Barbara did water, Terry did, where you at? Terry did books, Tiara did wheat berries, awesome. Awakening Warrior prepped more reusable toilet paper and extra battery powered bidets. Paula, second turkey. Ugh. Larry did silver. Rebecca did shortening. Susie, extra turkey. Stephanie, ammo. Debbie, peroxide. Tara did cooking supplies. Angie, silver. Let's see. Boots and bear spray, Paula. Okay. Miss Teacher Lady did coffee And then she's going to be stocking up on food next week and clothes. Awesome. 12 3-pound cans of chicken, Blue Rose. Wow. Oil lamp and sugar for Adalia. Saint Lady did candles. Lynn Quilts did batteries. Obi-Wan did ammo.
TL.
D. And Julie, what do you mean you stocked up on nothing? You're a federal employee and heard the government might shut down on December 3rd. Listen, Sean's federal too. Okay. You got to stock up.
Well, and not only that, if you heard that the government might shut down, why wouldn't you stock up?
Well, I guess, do you not just want to touch what you have as a reserve in the bank to make sure you can pay your bills for the month of December?
That may make sense. Okay.
Okay. Because, yeah, that makes sense because, we have our reserve as well, but honey,
Surely, firewood. I did that last week and I'm paying for it now. I'm hurting.
Sheila got battery powered bidets. J squared canned turkey.
Alicia, a canner. Good job.
Awesome. Montana did pet food. JN Galt is trying to start inventory.
Oh, good luck with that, babe. Good luck. Oh my.
My hat off to you. Yay.
Yeah.
Lori did candle wicks. Walt did canned goods and ammo. Awakening Waters Warrior said, tell Trish I would can tater tots if I could. They have Daisy and Peanut did pet food. Wow. You guys did good.
A larger livestock barn, raised bed. Really? Nice.
Jeez.
Nice.
That's
Can't
awesome.
top that.
Medical supplies and canned food. All right, Lori. That's good.
Yeah.
Me, because I bought another freezer, so I stocked up on meats big time. That was my prep for November, was my freezer and meats. That's what I prepped this week. And holy cow, did I kill myself with that. But the whole reason why I did it was because of the price hike that is coming in January. And I am not going to wait until the very last second. I said it before and I'll say it again. I am not going to sit here and be lackadaisical and say, and have nothing in my freezer and then, try and feed my family and have to wait, and wait until January and say, oh, well, that bag of chicken was, $5 in November, but now it's $15 in January. I'm not going to sit here and wait and do that. No.
So let's talk about the price hikes in January. Let's talk about the price hikes in January.
Let's talk about the price hikes. Everybody needs to know about the price hikes. I did a video on it, but I don't think everybody watched it. But yeah, the price hikes, listen, they're coming and they're serious. This is a serious price hike. It's affecting our meats.
Well, not just our meats. As far as food distribution, there's only about 6 companies that actually, aside from meat, there's only about 6 companies that actually get the products to, let's say, your local grocery store, your Walmarts, your Targets, all of those stores, okay? There's only about 6 companies that actually do it. And those distribution companies are flat out saying what the owners of the individual companies are saying. That as of January, you're looking at minimum 20% price increase.
Yeah.
Minimum. And that's for the typical stuff. It's everything from the Kimberly-Clark brand toilet papers and all that stuff, all the way to your normal vegetables.
Yeah.
When it comes to meats, they're saying anywhere between 28% and 42%. So let's take an average and say 35 on
Right.
meats.
Yeah.
20% on everything else,
Yep.
35% on meats. Let's average it again and say around 28 to 30% across the board in January on everything. Well, what does that then do? That takes 28 to 30% of your purchasing power and it goes away again, right? Across the board. And it's all food related. The whole thing. It affects your food budget, whether you're buying toilet paper or whether you're buying T-bone steaks, don't matter.
Right on.
It's across the board.
But I mean, it's even going to be hitting something as small as hot dogs, because they said that hot dogs, even what was the hot dog? Hebrew Nation is getting the highest price hike out of all the hot dogs is Hebrew Nation.
Yeah.
So,
you know, 30% average on all that stuff. That means you have 30% more, or I should say 30% less purchasing power for every dollar that you bring to the store. You got 25% less to go to any dollar store. You got 30% less to go to any other store.
yeah.
For those of you that think that the dollar has not depreciated any, you're severely mistaken. If you're just looking at the Dixie online and saying, well, it still says 96 cents for the dollar, you are severely wrong. That's what they call managing the markets. They can make it look like anything they want. The reality is we are severely under that. It's all based on what does it cost for you to go to the grocery store or to buy gasoline or to pay your electric bill or anything else. They'll give you a modest increase in Social Security and then they take it away in the increase for Medicaid A or Medicare A and B.
Yeah.
Because there's an increase on one of those two this next time around. So they give you a little bit of an increase, but they take it away based on the insurance that you now need by raising the cost of it.
Right. But also now our medications, okay, if anyone is on prescriptions, that's being affected as well. Just about a lot of you know that I take this one medication and I cannot skip a dose. Okay. I had gotten a text message of all things, not even a phone call, but a text message from Walgreens saying, okay, well, we can't fill this prescription because we can't even get it in. What? Yeah. I've been on this medication for over a year. I have to stay on this medication. I can't miss a dose.
Yeah.
And then they said a couple of days later, okay, well, we finally got it in. Okay, well, why?
Yeah.
You know, you can't do that to people.
RX is saying on here, in reality, the American dollar is only worth between 5 cents and 3 cents. Reality is it's worth about 10 cents currently, but with this new price hike that they're doing in January, that would be correct. Yeah. 5 cents to 3 cents. That's a reality. And people don't believe it because they look at the Dixie or they check out the stock market. They see the stock market completely going up straight and they look at the Dixie and the dollar is looking better than we're saying it is.
Yeah.
But again, that's called managing the markets. The economy and the stock market have zero correlation to each other at all. That's how the rich get richer. That's how they make their money.
Yeah.
But the rest of us, the ones where we're not in that club, that's all of us. You will always pay more for your food and yet not necessarily get more for your labor. So they're really stealing your life. They're stealing your labor by charging you more money. for a product that really doesn't cost them that much more to produce right now. They're incorporating the additional cost that it's going to cost them upcoming for the products that they've already made and already have on the shelves today that cost them less to produce.
I have asked if I can get 90 days worth, but they told me no. So I can only get 30 days supply of this medication. It's called Orion. So I can't get 90 days worth. I can only get 30 days worth at a time.
Firefighter saying that yes, they calculated the Social Security check and it will actually be smaller than it is now, and Part B is the one that's actually increasing. Yeah, you may technically get a little bit more money, but not really, and then they're going to take it back based on the insurance. So it's nice of them to say, well, we're putting a 6 or an 8% increase, whatever it is, but it means absolutely nothing. And yet they're going to increase the price on all the goods and services out there, including gasoline. So while they take back the money they give you, now you have to pay more and more and more across the board.
For that, Blue Rose, talk to Stephanie Joe Roundtree, please. Okay. She is an herbalist. And she helped me out considerably when it comes to my stuff. Okay. So talk to her. All right. She's the one that would have the answer for that, not me. All right. Oh, you're on that for tachycardia, Candy. I'm on carvedilol. You're welcome, Blue Rose. Yeah, Stephanie Joe is literally spot on when it comes to herbs and vitamins and everything else, okay? So get with her, please. Yeah, firefighter, it's just, I don't know if it's because it's the type of medication. It's not a controlled substance or anything like that. It's hormone therapy that I'm on. And it's called Orion, and it's the non-surgical way of having a hysterectomy. Sorry to put the TMI out there, but it's true. It's what my medication is for. And I can only get 30 days worth at a time, not 90. All of my other medications, I have 90 days supply of, but not this one. Strange, but true. Oh, there you are, Dave. Little late there, aren't you?
Hey, dirty white boy.
Come here. Daddy wants to see you. Come here. Daddy wants to see you. Come here. Look, look, look. Look, look, look.
Oh.
See? Dad wants to see you. No? You don't want to see Dad? Okay.
Yeah, you're babysitting, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. It has happened.
She's breaking out the chocolate.
Is there anybody that's wondering? That's her.
Oh, York.
So you asked about prepping earlier. This weekend I'm putting in raised garden beds, 2 of them. 16 by 4, so I'm doing 2 of them, not side by side, kind of parallel to each other a little bit. There'll be how do I say it? One's going to be 16 by 4, and then coming in 8 feet more. The next one is going to be 16 by 4. One is going to be all root vegetables on the bottom and then vining on the top. And then the other one is going to be a mix of root vegetables and upper things like zucchini and squash and stuff like that. So I'll be prepping those before it gets too cold here to be able to do it. Apparently it was snowing here tonight when Nikki went to let Zuzu out. She said it's snowing out. So it's cold enough for sure to snow, but we hadn't seen it yet.
Oh my God.
So no wonder why I'm cold. I'm hanging onto my cup today. I'm really cold. And it's not cold in here. I just am. So that's my prep.
Yeah.
And I've already started thinking about doing gardening videos for this coming spring. So I'll be doing everything from seed starting all the way to the actual planting and, take you from beginning to end on how I do the raised beds. Just little snippets as I go. And then we'll probably start putting them up, I don't know, maybe February.
Nice.
Just to give some people ideas of how we're doing it. And then you can do it whatever way you want.
No, and Lackey, because it's once in the morning and once at night, so they can't increase it at all. So believe me, I've tried everything.
All right, Obi-Wan. I want to know
very funny.
I want to know which one's which. So I want to know which one's which. Obi-Wan saying they want to call us coffee and chocolate.
Well,
which one's which?
Well, Trish and I already said that if we ever got together and went on a road trip, we would be Thelma and Louise. And she goes, no, yeah, but they didn't make it in the end.
Right. Yeah, we can't do that. Coffee and chocolate. I like the idea. I know which one I'd pick.
Come here, you.
I'd be coffee. You'd be chocolate.
Buddy. Here. Thank you.
Marjorie asking, have you ever heard of using milk or water gallon jugs for seed starting? Yes, I have, and they work great.
Hang on. I'll be right back.
So yeah, if you guys have any idea of things that you're looking for gardening wise, different videos and stuff, I'll be doing quite a few. So let me know, give me some ideas of what you're looking for with regard to that. I know Taro was wanting me to do some, and I'm more than willing to, but I'm not going to go from garden to canner. I'm not doing that. I'll do specific ones. I'm not going to do canning videos. But I have no problem doing the gardening ones. Seed starting. Okay. We can do that.
Yeah.
TN, Walapini gardening. I don't even know what that is.
No, neither do I. I was just looking at that. I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you got me stumped on that one. Elizabeth, when do you start your seeds indoors? That really truly depends on the seeds that you're looking to start. But here, in most cases, I would say February to late January to February. because they need some time. Is there a #1 video recommended for beginning canning? Yes. It's called the Ugly Chicken video. If you're going to start canning and you eat meat at all, just Google ugly chicken. And there are many people that do it, but Sutton's Days is my personal favorite one for it. You can check out any one of them, but I would say that would be the #1 canning video.
Yes, Christine, I use coffee grounds in my gardening. Yeah. Coffee
Yes.
grounds, eggshells. Yep.
Yep.
Also, another good source of nitrogen for your soil is sardines.
Yep. Or fish heads.
Yeah.
Depending on how big your garden is, let's say it's 8 by 4, put one hole in the middle and one hole in each corner. Fish head, fish head, fish head, fish head, fish head.
Mm-hmm.
Cover them over, leave them alone.
Yep.
And just by leaving them alone, not mixing them in, the nutrients from those will literally bleed right into the soil that you currently have. And it'll feed exactly what you need.
No, not if coffee goes bad, Backyard Rebel. Used coffee grounds. When you're done brewing the coffee, put it in
Right.
like a Walmart bag or a Ziploc or whatever, save it, and mix it into your soil. Or if you know someone who works at like Dunkin' or Starbucks or whatever, ask them to save their used coffee grounds. People do it all the time, and see if they'll give them to you instead, And start saving your your kitchen scraps, like your vegetable peels and fruit peels and stuff like that.
All right, guys, we got a few more minutes here. Anything else that you're wondering about or have any questions on, or something you want for upcoming videos? Let us know. Upcoming chat, anything like that. Hit the like button, please. It helps with the algorithm. I don't know how it does it, but it does. We're still trying to help grow Autumn's channel. I think she's somewhere in the 12.1 range. We're trying to get her over 15. So if you can share the video, that'd be awesome. Hit the like button and send it out to your friends.
Not Stephanie Rose, Stephanie Joe. She's still here. She'll answer you.
Somebody mentioning Deep South Homestead. They're awesome. I've been watching their videos for a while now, so I would love to have the amount of land he has just to be able to do stuff. It's awesome. Paula mentioning using cardboard over raised beds. That's how I'm actually going to start my raised beds, because we're going over an existing lawn area. So we're putting down cardboard first, and then the soil and manure on top of that, composted scraps on top of that.
Right.
And we're going to incorporate some mulch that we have that we're looking to, compost as well. And then, incorporate whatever dry material, leaves and different things that we have to put it to bed for the winter, and then add some more in the spring and go from there.
Right. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Charles, listen, what you can do with your used coffee grounds is put them in a Ziploc. Okay. If you have some freezer room, put them in the freezer. All right. It's fine. They will last. They'll be fine until, until, I don't know where you live, honey. So I don't know when you start to, work your soil and stuff like that. But if you're doing like greenhouses or whatever, you know, you start January, February for your springtime crops. Okay. So they'll be fine to sit in the freezer until January, February. All right. So just put them in a Ziploc and just put them in the freezer until January, February, and you'll be fine.
All right, guys, we're at 9 o'clock here. So anything else you want, just put it in the comment section or at the end of this live chat here. And we will see you next week.
Yeah.
And you all have a very good weekend and keep eating that turkey. Grab a few more if you can while they potentially go on sale. See if you can grab a few others while they have an extra. And can all you can.
Right.
While you can.
Yeah, Charles, you'll be fine if you put your coffee grounds in the freezer until, January, February, until you start to break ground for your soil for your springtime crops. You'll be fine.
Yep.
Okay.
All
right,
guys.
guys. Have a good night. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay positive, keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Good night.
Keep drinking coffee.
And eating chocolate.